Hello everyone, this is Karen here from Midlife Mojo. I'm in Dr. Cecilia's presence, which we are now at her office at the Bagan Specialist Center Elderly Care, which is specially for elderly people and dementia. So don't go away, I want you to learn more about how you can care for your elderly parents or relatives, because dementia is a very important part of that journey. So hang in there.
So this is the outdoor activities in the morning. Part of the important activities is exercise. This is the outdoor kitchen that we use for cooking activities. And because this center, we focus on the person and the retained skills of what they can still do. A lot of our clients are master chefs, you know.
Oh, wow.
They used to run.
So toilets here have to be color-coded, very distinguished ones. Hi, Dr. Cecilia.
Hi, Karen.
How are you doing?
I am good.
Thank you for sparing time. I know you're a busy woman. So please tell the audience what you do and what's your qualification, all that kind of thing.
First of all, thank you, Karen, for having me, and thank you for your interest in what we are doing here.
Right.
So my name is Cecilia, and I would consider myself a dementia advocate and activist, especially in Malaysia. That is what I do.
Right.
But I'm also a gerontologist.
Okay.
And I write a lot, and a lot of what I write pertaining to the lived experience of what's happening currently in Malaysia with regards to dementia.
Yeah. Okay. So why did you choose to learn? I mean, to be a dementia advocate?
You know, Karen, that's very interesting. This is a very personal question. So I'm going to share a personal story. It is about a very dear friend of mine. And that was when I was doing my research, and I was very involved with the older people, you know, the senior citizens.
Right.
And there was one guy, we will call him Charlie.
Okay.
And he was a retired teacher, and he loved dancing. And Karen, he's an amazing dancer.
Oh, wow.
So he was the one who brought in line dancing in Ipoh.
Okay.
So he trained all the line dancer teachers and all that. So he had an academy, you know,
Wow.
waltzers, beautiful dancer. And one day he was experiencing some brain changes.
Okay.
So he went to see his doctor, and finally he had the diagnosis of Alzheimer's type of dementia.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, today he was dancing very well. The next day he went to see, got the diagnosis. The following day he just stopped abruptly, closed down his academy, closed down his practice, and stopped dancing.
Okay.
I find it very strange, you know. So I asked him, I said, why do you stop, Charlie? In my mind, I thought that could it be that he's afraid of falling down, or he'll miss his steps, or, you know, he's afraid that he'll get dizzy or vertigo, I thought something like that.
Right.
But his answer really like shook me and really woke me up. He said, Cecilia, I stopped dancing because I'm afraid that I will not be able to dance according to people's expectation. What if I cannot remember my steps? What if I make a fool of myself? What if I cannot meet the standards? I think I better withdraw lah. Now that I got Alzheimer's, I may not be like before. So I stopped dancing law.
Okay.
And it hit me real hard, Karen.
Yeah.
It's like, it is about us.
Yeah.
It is about us as a community.
Yeah.
And it is not about the disease itself, because she didn't say, but his emphasis about what would people think. And that really shook me, and that is actually what started my journey to be an advocate.
Okay. And so what would be, okay, so I'm going to say I'm one of those sandwich generation, and I have to handle elderly parents, and I'm seeing my mom, which I suspect is dementia. So first question to you is, what are the signs that is an early onset? That's number one. And is there any test to kind of define whether you are in dementia or is it Alzheimer? Are there any medical tests to like pinpoint, okay, this is the problem here?
Okay, so just to be clear, that is a lot of us use dementia and Alzheimer's interchangeably.
Right.
So I want to sort of clarify the difference.
Okay.
So dementia is actually an umbrella term.
Okay.
So it is not a diagnosis per se. It means that you have cognitive impairment and neurological disorder of the brain. So it's like saying that if I've got cancer, Karen, I've got cancer, so you have an idea, but you have no, then what type of cancer?
Right.
Then
It's not so in-depth.
yes.
I see.
So I'll
Okay.
tell you, oh, cancer, I've got cancer of the breast.
Right.
So it's the same when I said I have dementia. So you know that, oh, Cecilia have got neurodegenerative disorder. But if I say I've got Alzheimer's, it's a type of dementia.
Okay.
Right?
I get
Alzheimer's,
it.
like, oh, I've got breast cancer.
Right.
So
Like
you're
more specific.
Yeah. So there's more than 100 over types of dementia today.
Okay. That's good to understand. Okay. So how do we see those early signs?
So I think a lot of people that's the most feared, number one most feared condition in the world now.
Yes,
All of us are afraid. Used to be cancer, but now it's taken over by
Exactly.
so we get very paranoid if we forget something. Oh, am I getting dementia?
Yeah.
A lot of people call me because of that.
Right.
So as we grow older, we are slower.
Yes.
Right? That is normal, biological. That's how we are built. All right.
Correct.
We age and then we die. All of us go through that.
That's for certain. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one thing for sure.
Exactly.
And as we age, like other parts of our body, we tend to get slower. But it doesn't change the structure, the function of the brain. So if you do a scan of a PET scan of a brain of a 20-year-old compared to an 80-year-old, and we actually see, and there is some difference, but it's not so drastic. We do decline, but it's not so drastic, the changes. So like I may take a longer time to process. If I want to learn about the digital world, I want to learn the new apps, I will take a longer time compared to a 20-year-old, right?
Yeah.
They live in the digital world.
Exactly, it's already happening.
In our world, it doesn't exist.
No,
It's all brand new.
Yeah.
So for me to learn something, I will take a longer time. I will take a longer time to process. I will take a longer time to have immediate recall, to then go back to my brain and go to the shelf and retrieve back the data.
Yeah,
That will take. So I may be like, for example, if I'm multitasking, I go to the kitchen and then I have a phone call, I get distracted, and by the time I reach the kitchen, I forgot why I'm doing here.
That's also brain fog. Menopausal women do go through that.
Yes, and then a lot of people get paranoid. Oh, is it dementia?
Right.
That is like, but we are able to then track. We are able to go back and track. We go back to the living room, and then we will, I came here to get it. So but people living with dementia are not able to do that.
So they can't track.
They can't track.
Forget.
They get disorientated, and they can't focus.
Right.
And they come to the kitchen, and then they get carried away with looking outside, opening the drawer, and then seeing the bras in the drawer, forgetting that they are the one who put the bra in the drawer, and then they will accuse the maid of stealing the bras.
Yes, I have those
in the
situations.
drawer.
Yes,
And then their brain will make up stories. Then he's like, okay, now I'll take more bras and keep it here because then the robbers will not steal it.
Right.
But then they forget.
Right.
So they may be misplacing things, they may be disorientated with time and space, they may not have spatial awareness or how to reach out. And they may not be able to distinguish, is this a hand cream or is this whipping cream, for example, and I may look at it and try to taste it and try to figure it out. So this is about the brain function and which part of the brain is affected. Right. So I come to the kitchen to make a drink, but then I get totally lost to do something else, and I am not unable to track back and find out and all that. And I'm like, what am I doing in the kitchen? Where am I? And then you look out and say, I want to go home because this doesn't feel like home, because in my mind, I am now living in 1971 and my home is not this.
Yeah, so I do notice that even with my own mom, but a lot of reflection back and the memory lapse, so remembering things way before and forgetting more current incidents. So that's part of it as well. Understand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what one of the things that I struggle in my journey with my own parents is trying to find the right help, because as a caregiver, we had this conversation where somehow we can be very empathetic and patient when it's not your parents.
Absolutely.
But when it's your own parent, your fuse goes berserk, you don't know how to handle, they won't listen to you, and then there's that impatience, and I want to do the right thing, but then my emotion goes havoc. So what do I do? What would you advise people who are like me, having to take care of those elderly parents or aunties or relatives? Yeah.
First of all, I want to assure you that it's very normal for us to feel that. Because if we are in our position and we are supporting our parents, we have been with them for as long as we are alive, right? And we with us carry all the baggage, all the history, all the pain, agony, not so good experiences, and all that we carry with them, and the dynamics, you know. And it's the same both ways with them and us, and we are forever their daughter.
Yes,
right?
so we are forever 12.
Yes, and we cannot be we are in no position to tell them what to do, because they are the one who's telling us what to do, and so that is becoming it's very difficult for you, and I totally understand. So that is why people like us plays a very important role, because we don't have all the baggage, and we don't have all the dynamics, and we are fresh, and we are able then to be able to support them without all the baggages, all the previous records and all that fresh, and we are able to, and both ways they also do not know us, so it's so much easier for us to come and support them, so that also gives you you know, as a care partner, a relief.
Yes,
it's definitely not a solo.
No, it takes a
thing.
village.
Yeah, it takes a village.
Yeah,
not a lone ranger thing.
No,
you know?
no.
So it does. So you need to have a team, a pool of supporters, and all of us can function very differently, so that you have your own space, you know, and you have can take care of yourself, because you can't pour out from an empty cup, right?
Yeah, true. And but there's not many centers, I have to say, especially in, I don't know, I've gone to a few. They are really more nursing homes, and I didn't like what I saw, to be honest. But nothing that is more like a daycare kind of thing. Do you have resources or knows of anyone? Because I'm sure I can't be the only one, whether it's in Selangor or KL. What are some of the steps that, as a caregiver, where can we reach out for this kind of help and find this resource?
And that is why I'm doing what I'm doing, Karen, because I'm trying to encourage communities to sort of develop support systems, because very rare, unfortunately, in Malaysia, daycare centers, dementia-specific daycares, very, very little. There's a handful. I think there is one in Perak, one in Penang, one in KL.
That's it?
Yeah, and these are dementia-specific daycare.
Okay.
But I feel that instead of waiting for that to happen, we can actually come together as a community, and let's do something about it, you know. So maybe, for example, let's say I feel that if we are, for example, let's say religion organization, for example, a church, right? The church come together. So we sort of say, okay, let's do something. Maybe we do we can convert this place into a facility instead of every day. Maybe let's start with twice a week. Half a day, you know, to start a place where people can come, can connect. It makes a lot of difference.
Exactly. I also find that, like with COVID, my parents definitely retreated, because it became very insular. Everything was inside, and even when I try to drag them out to do things, there's always excuses. So do you find that, having gone through COVID, did you see that shift?
Oh yes, I think this one is international, globally. You can see a sharp decline because of the isolation. It really has a direct impact of those who are having cognitive changes and dementia, and you can see them declining very sharply, especially those in a nursing facility and facilities. You can really see the sharp decline, and because of that, I think it is like self-explanatory that how important it is to get out and come together, social interaction, using your brains and all that. And that is not just doing Sudoku at home. Our brain doesn't work like that, you know. So it is more complex. So we actually need an environment where we support a person to be the best they can be wherever they are. And we can do that as a community. I strongly believe that.
So if there's any listeners out there who is keen to do that, how can they reach you, and how can they talk to you to find out? Because the reason I'm doing this is, like Dr. Cecilia Chan just said, there's not enough centers that are meant for dementia. And we are not talking about nursing homes that you, per se, put your parents in for 24 hours. We are talking about giving them good quality help and allowing you, if you are caregivers, some time to rest and do your own things, but you are giving them a chance to do social activities, meet other people, exercise, and that way they are giving them much better quality of life. Am I right to say that?
Yes.
So how can whoever who's listening out there, reach out to get that support, and what would you be able to help them with?
So they can contact me via my social media.
Description is below.
And it depends on their interest, so they can contact me and let's discuss on how we can do it. What are your interests? Where is the space, location? Who are the people that are going to work together?
Okay.
And all that. I believe that we are able to do that as a community and with pockets, and then all of us can come together and support each other and share stories, support each other, because each individual is different. Each person experiences it very differently.
Very differently, yeah. Okay, great. So besides, can you share with us some of the activities that you do here at the center?
So the activities are very person-centered. I think the most important thing when we look at dementia is not the dementia. The dementia comes, later. The first thing that we have to look at the person. So everybody comes is a human being in a whole. We see them whole, and we don't look at the defects. We look at what are their skills. What are they special? What's special about them?
Okay.
What can they do? What do they like? What's their history like?
Right.
So when we know, and so this center is based really, really on relationship. The first thing that I would insist on any new person come is, how am I going to develop a relationship with her or him first? So that if let's say if you are a person with dementia and I'm going to bathe you, I'm going to strip you naked, I'm going to touch your body, would you allow me? This is a very intimate thing.
Yes.
And we take it for granted, oh, my mother refused to bathe, can you bathe her? No, because we human beings do not bathe together.
No,
It's a very private,
discreet,
private and personal thing. And now you think it's okay to bathe her just because you got dementia?
Right.
It doesn't work.
Okay.
But now that if we are my friends and you're my buddy and all that, you are more inclined to allow me to be
You're
close
building that
proximity
trust,
and trust.
Yeah.
And I'm able to wash you and all that.
Right.
And you are able to accept me to come to your personal space and touch you.
Yes, exactly.
Rather than, so the first thing is I believe in creating a relationship base. So this is a very relationship works. And I tell you, Karen, it makes a lot of difference. All my clients who people claim to be very aggressive, and very angry, and used to throw tantrums, and when they come here, they don't exhibit any of it. None of them.
I can attest to that. I was just downstairs with they are smiling and they were like greeting me. It is so different. It's just so different. You can sense it, you just, it's happy and gay. It doesn't feel like an old place and that
institution.
Thank you for this. It doesn't feel like an institution at all.
And that is why I believe in this. I believe that we as human beings can make a lot of difference. It's no it's not a magic pill and all that. It will not, no pill can do that.
No.
It is so the thing is, once we develop a relationship, and then our activities are based on the person. So it's not like I have put on a lot of people do that. They have a list, morning 10 o'clock. Then we just work around the clock. Whether you like it or not, we will. But maybe if I'm for example, I'm a man, and those days, I'm an engineer, and then you ask me to make kueh. I'm not like, sorry, I'm speaking Hokkien because I'm a Hokkien.
It's a female work.
It's a gender thing, I don't step to the kitchen, how so it doesn't make any sense. So we must also look into the history of the person. If the person is a teacher, professor, then we are able then to shape it according to the person's personality. But there are also activities that we do together, like exercise. Everybody exercise, whether you're a teacher, lawyer, whatever, very important. So we all exercise together. There are group activities that we do together, but there are individual activities that we are tailored to the person.
That makes so much sense, Cecilia, because I now suddenly I have an aha moment while listening to you, is that my dad used to be a manager for plantations. So he's so used to being bossy. He tells people, do this, do that, do this. He just sits there and yong, yong, yong. And I realized that annoys me a lot because he doesn't say thank you or please. He just, and that drives me crazy. And then now I realize that it's just what he knows and what he's being is. So he will not be interested to do some cooking thing.
Yes.
But maybe he will be quite happy to talk about politics and the news and that kind
Get his opinion, ask for his opinion, ask for his help, and appreciate that he's helped you. It makes a lot of difference.
You just saved my relationship with my father at this very moment. because I have been very, very upset with him for a long time. So maybe this is just something that I have to shift my mindset as well. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we all learn all the time.
I know. So okay. So before we end this podcast, what would you advise, especially to caregivers like myself, and I'm sure thousands of women out there who are in this situation, feel so helpless and so like there doesn't seem to be any, and especially if finances is really tight. What can we do? What can we do?
Yeah, that's a very important and practical question. And I'd like to add on that women are the bulk of it. It really bears the brunt of it. 90% of the time, it is women who give up work career and all that, either for their family, and family means also their parents.
Of course,
Most of the time when I see children supporting their parents are women.
Yes.
It's very, very rare, and I'm being very honest here, that I see men. And so the part of the responsibility falls onto us.
Yes. Yeah.
So we have to then multitask. If you're a sandwich like you, then you have to this family, and then you have your mom, and then your dad, and your in-laws, and your work, and it's like you're pulled into so many places. And usually it is us who have to multitask and all that, and that put us in a risk of developing dementia ourselves.
Yes.
Stress, it's a very important component, because we have the cortisols and all that. It sort of affects our brain, and that would be predisposing to our well-being of the brain. And it's one of the crucial things so I think number one is that we have to take care of ourselves. And I know it's very hard.
It is so hard.
It's something
hard. I try it with all my midlife women. I said, taking care of yourself is not a sin. It's not like doing luxury things. Just taking care of half an hour of breathing and meditation every morning doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, and it's essential. I mean, this is essential. It's not a luxury. You need it. It's like you need oxygen,
Yeah.
If you don't take care of yourself, how can you?
Exactly. You can't take care of others. Yeah.
I think we as women, Karen, can do that, because obviously we are the one who does everything. I think we can support each other as women.
Okay.
Or let's say if I have a person living, my mom has got dementia or my dad has got dementia, let's pull together and create resources where we can work together. Let's say I'm free today, for example, right? This Friday, Karen, I'm free. I'm taking mom to the other care. Maybe your mom would like to join, and I will then carpool and I'll take. And maybe next week you're free. Things like that, or I can share resources I can come and babysit with you, with my mom, for example. Let's work amongst ourselves and support each other instead of waiting for the government policy and all that. And then we get frustrated. But let's see whatever we have, maybe amongst women. Let's just create resources where we can support each other.
I'm gonna try to do a small group and see how, because that would be, to be fair, the cost of living is just going crazy high, and sometimes it's not cheap. Nothing is cheap anymore, and it's very difficult to put, because then you got people who's like, I'm just earning this much and I still have to pay 10,000 or 5,000 a month for my parent to be in a home or care. So this could be such a great idea. I love you for that. And I am motivated to try to make that time and change that mindset in my little community.
Wonderful.
Even if it's 10 people, it's better than nothing.
Let's start small, let's start local, let's start with what we have.
And every step we take can help. It's not just about helping yourself, but it's the community. And if we all gather together, we can get those resources. And who knows, maybe your parents actually start to recognize you again, or have that conversation that you're dying to have because you're craving for it, because now they start to remember stuff. So that's super duper important. So I'm so grateful to have touched base with you this morning, and making me cry, because I'm very emotional when it comes to my parents and taking care of them. And most important, ladies, remember, we talk about self-care. It's not a luxury. It is important to fill your own cup before you can take care of others. So until then, Don't forget to subscribe and like and look at all the description below for Dr. Cecilia's contact and how she can assist you to help start your little community. Do something positive. Do something that drives you to have a purpose and a reason, because midlife is not just about money. We all want it, no doubt, but there's a lot about giving back and having the right purpose in life. So until next week, I'll see you soon.